All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders, great millstone, who teach very well while not this truth from, and citation out there to the hopeful lick, who continually push his word in all truth, faith, and sincerity, and also shalom to all the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. And on today, man, just basically getting and touching on the rulers upon this planet Earth here in these latter days, man. Because it was already prophesied long ago that here in these latter days, the wicked would be in power. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and start right here in the book of Job, chapter 9. Jumping down to verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judge thereof. If not, where and who is he? So like it says, if not, where and who is he, man? So if the so-called white man is not the devil that the Bible speaks of, then who is? Because you can see this guy, he already have the petrodollar, which really rules the whole world. And if you don't bow down to his dollar or his wicked beast system, then he'll bomb you to hell and back. You know, and it got to a point like this guy, he's not pushing forth things that's beneficial to the earth. This guy take resources, bomb lands, destroy whole communities in order for his benefit. And it got to a point when all these other people have gotten tired of the so-called white man ruling. Because even over there in the Middle East, they don't call Esau. They don't even call him the so-called white man. One of his biggest names over there is the great saint. Because this guy, he's an adversary unto the planet Earth, man. He's really just an adversary unto life. Let's get this real quick. This is the book of Isaiah 24, and I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, the earth mourneth and faileth away. The world languisheth and faileth away. Now, you go into the word languish, it actually means to be weakened. And the world have been weakened under the so-called white man because even certain elements like uranium, it's something simple, even certain things like the petrol oil that just got pumped out of the ground. These things are beneficial to the planet Earth, but Esau are using these different things for wickedness. Cocaine, the coca leaves is supposed to be an energy plant, but this nigga, he'll switch it up into dope, But again, for lack of better words, it's getting to a point when even the earth is fighting back against this devil. That's the reason why you have mudslides. That's the reason why you have quote unquote natural disasters, because even the earth is tired of the so-called white man ruling over him. Because look what happens when he do, man. Oil spills happen. Wildlife and whole environments get destroyed. The water get tainted, And that ultimately trickle down not only to just the regular humans, but even plants. You can't even water your plants with tap water 9 times out of 10 because they're gonna die due to the chemicals that's in that tap water. Let's read this again. It says, the world mourneth and faileth away. The world languisheth and faileth away. The hardy people of the earth do languish. And that hardy people really is the so-called white man, the high and lofty. But he's languishing. Why? Because his rulership is coming to an end. Everybody have realized and it have been revealed who the devil of the Bible is speaking of, man. So you can't hide like you did back during the 1950s. You can't even shuffle the cards and say, they the Edomites. It's getting to a point when the word Edom is getting thrown around more and more. And that just shows you how the rulership of Esau is failing. Let's go ahead and continue on. The earth mourneth and faileth away. The world languisheth and faileth away. The hardy people of the world do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Because even the scriptures have things that's beneficial unto life, something as simple as the land Sabbath, man. You till the land for 6 years, in the 7th year, you let the land rest. But the devil, or the so-called white man, being the greedy guy that he is, ultimately he's going to run everything to the ground, man. He even says that in the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, he whooped people with a continuous stroke. Even Jake, this nigga, he'll give you a 14 hour work day and only give you a 30-minute break. Showing you that this guy, he's the devil, and he's especially greedy here in these latter days. Let's get this in the book of Sirach 14, and I'm gonna start at verse 5. It says, "He that is evil to himself, to whom shall he be good?" Yes, because it's not like Esau is doing these things. Yeah, even though he pushed forth crack cocaine and the black community and all that, even rap music, that still affect people globally. Let's even going back deeper than that. Let's go into the chemtrails. The same air that you breathe in, you're poisoning the same air. On the same planet Earth that you live in, the water that everybody drinks of, you poisoning the water supply, man, which you have to drink for. So he that is evil to himself and even his own people, Joe Sixpack. So how much more hatred do we have towards the so-called Black, Latinos, and Native Americans? Read this again. It says, "He that is evil to himself, to whom shall he be good? He shall not take pleasures in his goods." Yes, and Esau's good is really what? Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. This is supposed to be your time to shine, E. Your rulership, you're supposed to be the top dog upon the planet Earth. But hey, your whole time in rulership, your whole mindset, your whole MO is really to destroy the earth, man. Through your laws and legislations. Even then, this guy, Trump, he got that blockade and siege amongst a blockade. He blockade over there in the Strait of Hormuz. But even then, let's say if it's a war or a ship getting knocked off, do you know it's going to really destroy the whole, water environment, man? For lack of better words, animals and everything suffering. And a reason why, because the so-called white man is fighting over oil. Let's go ahead and continue on. That's why it says he should not take pleasures in his goods, because you have the whole planet Earth in your hands and you're using it for the lack of better words in an evil sense. You can't really enjoy life if you're so obsessed with death and bloodshed. You're the top ruling nation upon the planet Earth, and instead of you chilling, you're greedy and you want more. Let's go ahead and continue on. It says, "There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness." Yes, and Esau, he do envy himself, because he'll even take out somebody that's close to his line just so he can rule. And this guy, he even got rulership, but again, he want more. And that's why even then you messed up the whole planet Earth, and now you want to take over Mars. Look what you did to the planet Earth. So how much more are you going to do into a world after this, man? Let's go ahead and continue on, though. It says, "And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he would declare his wickedness." Yes, because at the last you will realize that a devil have been amongst you. Now, real quick, let's get this in the book of 2 Thessalonians, and I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, matter of fact, verse 5, it says, "Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time." And this is the time when the so-called white man is being revealed for all the filthy things that he have done upon the planet Earth. And everybody is realizing it, man. Even you go into the past guys like Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, and many other people, man. For the lack of better words, if you speak against this guy, he gonna demonize you. If you call him out for being the devil, then he's gonna put you to death. Well, try his best to put you to death, man. And that's a key factor of what Genesis the 4th chapter. "If anybody findeth me shall slay me," man, because we identify the children of Cain here in these latter days, man. The children of Cain is ruling. And you can see it. Why? Because he's a violent man. Continuing on, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall the wicked be revealed." Yes, because even then, back in the Roman Empire, people knew about the Idumeans. People knew about the Edomites, but it wasn't really the time for them to be judged. Now is the time for the nation of Edom to be judged. That's the reason why they're scrambling with their kingdom. That's the reason why they're trying to jumpstart this digital world system. Because he know it's an end coming into his empire. Let's go ahead and continue on. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And the spirit of his mouth is the prophets, man. And we're telling you and warning you that Yahweh Shai is going to come and take you down. That's another reason why Esau is such in a panic sense. Because he know that his judgment, like he says, his judgment is greater than he can bear. He don't want to see Yahweh Shai because he know he's going to have to repay for all the things that he did from Cain and Abel all the way up until now. And that's a lot of atrocities, man. It even tells that in the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, how her sins have reached up unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. So the judgment of Esau, Edom, it's a lot, you know? And again, he's trying to run away from it by trying to start this new world order in this digital system. But the only thing that you're doing is fulfilling prophecy. You proving that you're the wicked that the Bible speaks of, you know? Let's go ahead and continue on. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Now, real quick, let's get this word saint. That word saint, it says Satanis, but in the Hebrew is Shaitan. Now you can go right here to the first definition. Adversary, one who oppresses another in purpose or act, the name given to. And he is an adversary. He do oppress us, man. But let's go down, because people try to say Satan, yeah, he's the devil busy. Yes, the devil busy by the way of the stock market. You know, the devil busy by the way of the pharmaceutical drugs. You know, the devil is busy by the way of the propaganda and the things that he push out on the internet. It's not just a red spandex guy, a red spandex suit wearing guy in the middle of the earth. No, because when you read down into the B definition, it says a saint-like man. So the children of Satan is being revealed here in these latter days, man. You know, go ahead and go down. It says with the accuser. And even says that the accuser of thy brother, which put what? Cain on the scene again. Cain and Esau on the scene. You know? Let's go ahead and go back. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. And yes, you do have power. Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Signs and lying wonders. He deceived people to think that he's a good guy upon the planet earth, but he can't play that role anymore, man. Again, a snake can only be a lizard for so long, you know, until he jump up and bite somebody. You know, and again, same thing with Esau. He can only play this role that he's the Israelites. He can only play the role that he's the Egyptians or he Japheth. No, all signs is lining up with you being the children of Cain. Let's go ahead and continue on. With all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And this is why the truth is Esau's biggest enemy. Why? Because this truth really shines a light of who he is, man. Let's go ahead and get this real quick. This is the book of St. John, chapter 3, and I'm going to jump down to verse 19. It says, and this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. And that's why, again, the Lord is going to come with the spirit of his mouth to expose these evil deeds, man, and ultimately to give these evil deeds and these evil guys their judgment, man. But again, they hate the light coming out. That's why such things as YouTube studios, that's why you have to use certain keywords. Because again, this light is too great for Esau to bear. Let's read this. Let's continue on. It says, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hated the light, hated this truth. That's the reason why he don't want you to believe that you're an Israelite. He set up guys like Vocab Malone and them niggas Deacon. Because again, this light ultimately leads into salvation, but the darkness only leads to you a comfortable, hurtful death, man. Because that's the only reason why people love the darkness, because they're comfortable sleeping. They're comfortable here in this society, and they really don't think they're going to be called that they did here in these latter days, you know? Let's go ahead and continue on, because right here in America, they teach you to be YOLO, do as thou wilt. You know, basically, everything comes out of hand and really is no repercussion behind your wicked acts. But guess what? The Lord, he's going to call up everything upon you. Not only for Esau, but for you wicked niggas who fight for this guy too. Let's read this again. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest their deeds should be reproved. Yes. And that's the reason why you trying to demonize us like we the bad guys upon the planet Earth. But you the ones that created the Crown 19. You know, you're the ones that push forth, that's trying to push forth the tiny little device that put in people's skin, man. You the ones that put fluoride in the water. You can't blame that upon Jake. But again, Jake don't want to listen and let. They want to know about the Offset situation. What's going on with this, the new beef upon the block. Not knowing that this current kingdom is going down the drain and coming to an end. Continuing on, the last verse, it says, but he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be manifest, that they are wrought in the Most High. And yes, that's why we're coming into the light. Even to, get the specks off ourselves, But at the same time, these people in the world and the people of Esau, the reason that they don't want to hear this truth and really hearken, again, because they're comfortable in this society and they're really comfortable under Satan. Lying to you, saying that everything is going to be okay, which is not. So yeah, I pray this video was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahabashah, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostle, elders, great millstone, and shalom.